One particular area where parents have asked us to decode it genetically is the science of ADHD. People that are distracted, can't focus, and are jumping from one thing to another. And there's certainly something to be said about that genetically. When you look at how neurochemicals are processed in the brain, the answers start to become more clear. And it really leans on two things. It's about reward and pleasure, and then distraction and lack of focus. And if we start with the first, those of us that have the low version of the dopamine that are constantly seeking reward may appear to be jumping from one thing to another because it's very easy to excite us and get us onto that next thing. Now imagine if on top of that, your COMT enzyme is fast, flushing the dopamine out extremely quickly, and that experience lasts for a very short time. You're going to do it more and more and more, quicker and quicker and quicker, jump from thing to thing to thing, and appear to not have attention. The other end of this is serotonin. For those of us that are dysregulated for serotonin, meaning that we get easily irritated. If you're in that room in that meaning to be working on something, but there's a clock ticking, or somebody chewing on something, or a noise outside, and it's drawing your attention away, preventing you from being able to focus. Outwardly, that looks like I don't have attention. I cannot focus on what I'm doing. But it's actually that details draw me towards them, and the last thing I was doing, I can no longer pay attention to. Now, the enzyme that clears the serotonin out, if you have the fast version of that, MAO, again, this is going to happen more frequently, and it'll be even more exaggerated. So in both cases, it's about the base level neurochemical. To what level do I experience that thing, that pleasure or reward, and how often am I going to seek more and more of it? On the other end, it's how often are things going to irritate me and details poke at me and prevent me from focusing on what I'm doing. And on both of them, how long does that thing last, meaning how quickly I'm going to jump to the next one. If you look at these two examples, combine them both, which is the case for many of us, that looks like ADHD. I can't stick to one thing, I need to jump from thing to thing, I can't focus, everything distracts me, I can never sit down and get anything done. If you were to understand it at the genetic level, you will be able to mitigate it if needed. Foods, supplements, lifestyle, environment, diet changes, there's things that can be done to balance these neurochemicals off if that change is desired. For those of us that have children that seem to be distracted and you're just starting to think about whether or not they need to be medicated, or even ourselves not being able to focus and wondering what is the answer, before going down that route, it may be best to look into your genetics and see if this is the way you're actually wired, and maybe there's a better way to go about the solution.